Hello everyone, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining today's edition of Tech Thursday for Parents with Yeti Williams. So if this is your first time here, thank you for joining today, and for those who tune in every time we're having this, thank you for continuing to tune in and for all your fantastic feedback, questions, comments, and the things that help us with this parenting journey, because we're all on it together. Now, for those who are here for the first time, like I said earlier, my name is Yeti Williams. I'm the founder and CEO of LagosMums. And LagosMums is a platform for everything parenting, from birth all the way through the years to choosing schools, screen time, technology, raising them right, raising the adult in your home, and all of the things that go with motherhood, parenting, and family. Now, Tech Thursday, this is a series that started a few months ago, and really the idea here every Thursday is to pick a topic that we delve into, and today's topic is raising children to be entrepreneurs and teaching them about wealth. So teaching our children about wealth and entrepreneurship, that's the topic today. Now, I don't know how many people have actually ever thought about it and realized, let me rephrase. Have you ever thought about where you learned about wealth creation from? Have you ever thought about that? Did anybody teach you about wealth creation? Now, depending on who you ask, most people were not taught. Most people learned the hard way. They learned through life happening. A lot of us go to school, we graduate, we start work, and then we're supposed to figure it all out and figure out how to take care of ourselves and all the responsibilities that come with being an adult. But I think in being an intentional parent and thinking through parenting as a curriculum, what are some of the skills that we feel children should have? And I think education around wealth creation and entrepreneurship is really important, and something that we don't focus on enough, but we really have to, especially in today's world. So I've shared this before. There's research that shows that a huge percentage of the jobs our children will do in the future hasn't even been created yet. We also know that there's a huge increase now in entrepreneurship, people having their own businesses, running their own businesses, either because they want to, or sometimes children can't find jobs, ideal jobs, and so they start their own companies. But whatever the reason is for starting their own companies, we are in a gig economy, which means that more and more people are able to have jobs that are remote, that are freelance jobs. There are jobs that are very flexible. So we know that there are a lot of people that have jobs today where they are working from home and they have clients in different parts of the world. Sometimes they're even signed up with more than one company, and because they have different time zones, they have their laptops, they have internet, they can collaborate with anybody from any part of the world. So entrepreneurship today is actually much easier than it ever was when maybe we were growing up. If you want to start a company today, you literally don't have to leave your home, and you can do everything online. You can absolutely do everything online. So with that level of ease also means that we have children now, or young adults now, who are getting into the adult world and don't necessarily have some of the skill sets that older generations might have. So if a young adult today can decide to have his or her own job, start his or her own company behind their computer, go online, create the company, create the website, social media handles, open a bank account, or open one of those payment solution platforms such as Paystack or PayPal, depending on where they are in the world. Honestly, they're ready to go, and then they figure out how to create flyers, put their products online, whether it's physical or digital products, and they can literally start going with business. But that doesn't still lead to the skills we require to be a successful entrepreneur or to even create wealth. So let's talk about wealth creation. And I want to break it down into some simple steps so that each of us can go away with something that we can implement from today. So we've talked about entrepreneurship. It's easy to start your own business today. It's easy to be your own boss. But being your own boss doesn't mean that the responsibilities are no longer there. It just means that the responsibilities are now all yours. So you are in charge of your own, finances, filing your taxes, paying yourself, paying all your other costs, and managing yourself even more. So I dare say that the responsibility with entrepreneurship is actually more than when you're in a 9 to 5, where you get paid every 2 weeks or every month. They deduct your taxes for you, they remit it for you, and you just go home with your take home. So it's not either or, it is just that our children need to have these skills and be ready to face the world when they are adults. So when it comes to wealth management and wealth creation, for me, wealth is not just about money. Wealth is not just about what's in your bank account. Wealth for me and wealth creation is about creating, actual value. Money is one thing, but $1 or $1 is $1 by itself. The ability to take that $1 and invest it, save it, grow it, where that $1 becomes $100, $1,000, $10,000, that is where wealth creation comes from. That's where the concept of wealth comes in when I think about it. And so the first thing is we have to teach our children how to save, and you can start that as early as 6-7 years old. How do you teach a child how to save? First of all, when you go shopping with your children, make it practical. If you go shopping and you see different products, different brands, different pricing, discuss it with your children. This brand is XYZ amount versus this other brand. Discuss why one is more expensive than the other. Is it based on the name? Is it based on the products, the ingredients in it? Why is it more expensive? Discuss those things with your child when you go to the grocery store. Teach them about savings. Teach them about why you're buying something on sale or you're buying something in a bundle. When your child also goes to the store, and you know how children are, you get to the shop and they want to buy everything on the shelf. How do you tell them not to buy this or that? How do you tell them, you know what, you can't just buy everything you want? Maybe you give them a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? You give them some money, allowance, yes. You give them an allowance every so often, and you let them know that, their allowance, maybe it's 500 naira or it's 10 pounds. And you say that's your money that I'm allocating to you on a monthly basis, for example, and you can use it to buy whatever you want. But they have to look forward to it and they have to plan. So that starts to teach them about budgeting, about planning. Because you have money doesn't mean you have to spend it. And the minute you spend it all, it is gone. And that's a concept that even young children can learn. If they have money in their hand and you get to the shop and they want to buy something and you tell them to give it to you to pay, and they realize the money is gone, it's practical. They understand that concept. So you can start to teach them about needs versus wants. You don't have to buy everything that you feel like. You shouldn't buy everything that you feel like. There's something called delayed gratification. There's something called saving, planning, budgeting. They can start to understand those concepts. And practically, for us, we used to do that when the children were much younger, and it's become second nature now. We go to the store. They are the ones that will look on the shelf and say, but why is this toothpaste more expensive than the other one? What's the difference? And you'll have a conversation about why. Maybe you have a preferred brand. You discuss it. So those are one of the ways you can start to teach real skills on savings, budgeting, planning. Then you want to teach your children as well to save. And when I talk about saving, it's with the mindset that we all need to save money for a rainy day. So there's money that you must put aside. And, depending on who you ask, there are many different opinions. But I believe that you should have about 6 months of salary saved, like an emergency fund. And so you can teach your children that concept that, as you start to earn, whether as an employee or having your own business, you want to save money steadily every month with a goal to having a certain amount saved for the rainy day, saved for something that's unforeseen. You never know what's going to come up in life sometimes. And it's good to know that you have a bulk sum saved somewhere. It won't happen overnight, but it's a training. And you start to say every month, maybe 10%, 15% is going towards savings. You're not going to touch it. That's not where you're going to buy internet from. That's not where you're buying credit from. It is for pure savings. And when you get to that amount, you leave it in a certain account that you don't touch, okay? Preferably, you can even invest it in a way that it's easy to liquidate though. So you don't want something that if you need that money in an emergency, you cannot access it. So you want to have it available, but earning something for you so that you can access the money when you need it. So we've talked about savings, budgeting, planning for a rainy day. The next topic I want us to discuss when it comes to raising children to be entrepreneurs and having the idea of creating wealth is you want to teach them that they can earn from a young age. It is never too early to start. Children can learn very early on that they can create wealth. Like, don't let us use comments such as money doesn't grow on trees. Those kind of comments are very limiting and they're not very helpful. So if you tell a child money doesn't grow on trees, okay, so does it grow somewhere else? Does it grow in the grass? Does it grow in the moon? So when you just say money doesn't grow on trees, you're always asking me for something. You haven't taught them anything. So I would prefer, rather than using those kind of reactive comments, teach them. Be like, we work hard to earn our money. Teach them what it means to earn money. A lot of children don't understand that mommy and daddy say they are working. Either all they see is you get up in the morning, you dress up, you go out of the house, and you come back at night after you've been out all day, or they see you behind a computer all day. They don't know what working means. So if you can get them to practicalize it somehow, the younger that they are, the better. Teach them to earn, teach them to make money based on some of the skills that they have. So let me break this down into a very practical example. A lot of us will hear stories about the lemonade stand, right? A lot of children, for example, in the US, maybe they'll have stands outside their houses selling lemonade during the summer months. It's not that the people that buy from them, number one, cannot go to the supermarket and buy lemonade. It's not that their parents maybe can't afford to have them sit at home, but it's teaching them that you can earn. You should stand in the sun. You should try and sell, lemonade, even if it's 2, 3, 4 jugs. Those children are learning something critical. The ability to create something, in this case, lemonade, to sell it, to deal with money, to deal with strangers. Maybe they have to deal with giving them change. It's a process, and all those skills are things that we all need throughout life. So practically at home, we did that a few years ago, where the children were actually part of an entrepreneurship camp for children over the summer. And so parents, summer doesn't always have to be about, going to learn maths and English and doing lesson. Those are valuable months and times that we can teach children the skills that they really need to help them in life and to expand, their creativity. So summer camps are a fantastic opportunity for your children to learn new skills. Don't just make it about maths and English, please, okay? So anyway, the children during this particular summer learned little skills like starting their own business, picking a business name, learning how to use a receipt, deciding what they would make. I think they became a CEO and CFO or something. They called themselves different roles, and they were much younger, but it was fun. They got to, I think they decided to make jewelry, and of course, who were they selling it to? Friends, aunties, uncles, grandma, grandpa. But just that ability to exchange value for something they created, it does something to you as a child, even as an adult, that you can create something and somebody finds value in it and they pay for that. That is valuable lessons, and those are some valuable lessons to learn. So teach your child to create and make money. As they get older, let them go work. They can go and work somewhere. They can work at your company, your friend, your family's company, a few hours a week. It's critical for them to understand what it means to work. Otherwise, a lot of people don't understand what it means to work. They just know you disappear somewhere or you're behind a computer all day. They don't know what you're doing. So I think in terms of wealth creation as well, and to raise an entrepreneurial child, a child with an entrepreneurial spirit, start teaching them that they can create value using their hands and their skills. And because we are actually we're in an age where knowledge economy is growing and is increasing. Knowledge economy basically means that whatever your skills are, whatever you know how to do, you can turn that into a product that you can teach, you can sell, you can offer as a service. I remember with the scenario I painted earlier, as an entrepreneur today, there's nothing stopping you. You can create today, between myself and yourself, we can create a business today, right now, and be ready to go online within the next hour. So the truth is that if you know how to monetize and package skills into a product, you can start to sell that. You can start to access a global economy. It's no more about where you are physically located. So these are some of the ways that we can use technology positively for our children. It's not just to passively consume YouTube video upon YouTube video, but what are they doing with all of this time they're spending online? You know, and teaching a child wealth creation early, it can never go to waste. It can never be a wrong, it can never be bad time spent. So teach them about creating value, you know, be practical with them. Does your child like to paint? Can they paint and sell the paintings? You know, does your child like to draw, to sew? There's so many things you can encourage them to do. And as they get older, let them maybe do internships as well. As they start to earn that money and they see how long it takes to earn even 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira, guess what? When it comes time to spending, they think twice. They understand the value of money. So that's where this idea of value of money comes from. So we've talked about savings, we've talked about budgeting, we've talked about learning to earn, learning to create, you know, understanding what it means to work and having practical examples to be able to back what that means. Now, the next thing I would like us to talk about is investing. So it's one thing to save for a rainy day. It's one thing to also save your money. You shouldn't spend everything you earn. We've talked about being an entrepreneurial spirit, being ready to be an entrepreneur. And even if you were to be in a 9-to-5, a lot of jobs today require an entrepreneurship spirit. They want people who come into the company and are entrepreneurs. People who come with an idea that I am here to also, I own this company. I'm just not just a worker where I'll just come, do the little bit, just enough, get paid and go. No, they need that entrepreneurial spirit. So imagine you're hiring somebody who has an entrepreneurial spirit and who understands what it means to earn, to create value, to make money grow. The ideas, the creativity that come with that are very different from a person who just expects to come to work, show up, do the bare minimum and go home. Right? So, and at the end of the day, all of this intentional parenting is to make sure that we're raising children who are going to excel and who are not just going to do the bare minimum. When they don't do the bare minimum, by default, they will stand out and they will do better. So when we talk about investing, and this is where, you know, the real wealth creation in practicality also comes in. How do you make your money grow? How do you increase wealth? Money by itself, if you just put a dollar bill or a naira, well, we don't have naira bills. If you just put a 1,000 naira bill on the table, that's all that it is. But you can take that same money, and because you have learned how to invest, you can make that money grow. And your children can start to learn that from a young age. Let them understand that money can grow. Now, I was on a radio show earlier today and I mentioned how during the pandemic last year when we were in the thick of the lockdown, you know, I have something called a parenting vision board that I've created. And because, you know, I always have that hat on that we're raising adults and we want those adults to have certain skills to excel in life. How do I work backwards and introduce them to different topics and different lessons along the way, so that they don't have to wait till they are older to have to go back and learn certain things from scratch or learn from mistakes. So I decided to put something on the wall and asked my husband to break down the idea of compound interest to the children. He's a financial professional, investment professional. And one of the things that I've realized through the years with working with people, talking to different families, is most parents who do certain jobs where you can't necessarily see them doing it. So a basketball player will probably be outside practicing, you know, their sports. And so it's likely for the child to see them doing that and maybe join mom or dad playing basketball. But when you are a different kind of professional, like a financial person or a finance expert or a finance consultant, your children sometimes might not actually see that work in progress if you don't take the time to teach them. So we discussed the concept of compound interest, of investing, and how that 1,000 naira that you put on a table can actually grow into 10, 20 times by investing. So not just saving, you know, savings gives you very little, but actually investing it in a way that it grows year on, year out, year in, year out rather. It's a different learning. You teach them about the idea of the stock market, that when you buy what does it mean to invest in the stock market? It means you are buying a piece of a company. What are some of the companies you like? You make it conversational. And we did this last summer. And by the end of the conversation, they actually were interested, and they said, you know what, can we buy some stocks now? And so, of course, using my account, we got them involved and they started to buy some shares. And they were the ones who decided what they wanted to buy, which companies, why. And we were able to say, okay, I can buy you this number of shares. And we spoke about that. And so they got into the stock market. And now they're able to understand that, oh, something we bought at, $100 is now 149, or is now 150, or it's growing. Why is it not growing? What's going on? So when they go shopping for certain products now, they are thinking, I own a little bit of that company. It's so empowering, right? So empowering to think that so many things that as adults they are going to have to deal with, you are starting to teach them that now at this age. It goes a long way. So investing, make it practical, talk about real estate, talk about gold. Let them understand that when you buy things that are valuable and have assets, they grow. But when you spend it on certain things, that is it. Once you spend that 500 naira on that sweet, it is gone. Obviously, let them have a childhood and let them have fun. You also need to have fun as a parent. Everything is not always about saving and investing. But when you start that conversations now, they understand. When they turn on television and they hear, the stock market went down or this company did this, they can start to understand what that means. And then this brings me to another topic in terms of degendering money. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we have this idea that, you raise a girl, she'll get married to somebody who will provide for her. And then you don't take the time to teach her money values, for example, or how to invest, or how money grows, or how to deal with money. But money doesn't have a gender. Money is not his or hers, right? Money is not her or him. Money is not Mr. or Mrs. Money is money. Wealth is wealth. Creating wealth is creating wealth. Whoever understands the principles can make it work for them. So let's raise children to become adults who understand how to make money work for them, how to invest, how to grow, and how to really make it work for you. Because if you think about money as finite, you either have or you don't have. Somebody either gives you or they don't give you. Versus coming from me from a perspective of money is infinite. We can always create money. We can always make more. If we need, we can make more. And these are the particular steps we can take to make more. So I know I've said a lot. You may need to replay this again. But remember, we're trying to raise children with entrepreneurial spirits. And we're trying to raise children to become adults who understand wealth creation and how to make money work for you. And in the economy that we live in, the age we live in, the digital age we live in, honestly, there's very little standing in the way of you, your skills, and your ability to earn and create wealth. And the absolute last thing I would like to touch on is about character. I don't believe that you can have bad character, no values, no integrity, and grow money and grow wealth that is sustainable and will pass on generation to generation. There's something about raising your children to understand the value of their word, integrity, being kind, being fair, doing things the right way, even when nobody is watching you. So teaching them those internal guideposts, internal guidelines, that they know that there's certain ways we behave, and that the more you are open and honest, the more comes back to you positively. So that's also part of wealth creation for me, because it's not just about money. Wealth creation is goodwill, friendships, the reputation, what people say about you when you're not there. The feedback people share when they talk about you. Do they say, oh my goodness, you know what, that person gave me such a great value for my money, or they're such a great professional, or their business, oh my goodness, went over and beyond. Those are the types of things that you need to actually give you almost that, what you cannot touch, but what goes with your name and your reputation is also yours to develop and yours to build. All right, so we've talked about a lot today, and today's topic was really about raising children to become adults who understand money, understand how to earn it, how to save, how to budget, how to invest, what investing means, why we invest, how to grow money, realize that money is not finite, it's infinite. You can make whatever you want to make based on your skills, your talents, the work you put in, hard work, planning. It's not just about the number of cows somebody can give you, right? What do you do to show up and to put all those building blocks in place so that when they do become adults and have to make all these tough decisions and have responsibilities, they've had all of these skill sets in them, you know? Because, for example, being a salesperson is something many of us were not taught. But if you're going to run a business, if you're going to do well in an office, you have to have a little bit of ability to sell and, you know, package yourself, but not fake packaging. I mean, coming across as a total picture, somebody who knows what they're saying and can deliver the right way. So as always, we do this every Thursday, 7 to 7:30. We'll just talk about a topic around parenting in the digital age. This is Tech Thursday for Parents with Yeti Williams. And you can feel free to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at LagosMums. Our website is LagosMums.com. And we have a lot of information, a lot of articles, resources, downloads, toolkits to help parents navigate, you know, parenting in the 21st century. As always, thanks for all your comments. You can always continue to send me messages at LagosMums or at Yeti Williams. We'll be sure to get them, to respond to them. Because when you also get in touch with us, you help us know what's resonating, what you need help with as a parent as well. And then we help you with that information. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to engaging with you on all our different platforms.